The GTA housing market is entering into the spring season with fewer listings, cautious buyers, and a lot of uncertainty about where prices are heading next. February gave us a first real look at how the market may behave this year. Spring is historically the most active time of year for real estate across the Greater Toronto Area, and the numbers from February give us a useful starting point for understanding where the market may be heading. According to the Toronto Real Estate Board, there were 3,868 home sales across the GTA in February. That's about 6.3% decrease compared to February of last year, when just over 4,100 homes sold. Sales slowed slightly compared to last year, but more interesting shift actually happened on the supply side of the market. New listings declined significantly. In February of last year, there was about 13,000 homes that were just listed on the market. This year, that number dropped to 10,705. That's a 17.7% decline in the market year over year. When listings decline at that level, it changes the balance between buyers and sellers. Even if buyer activity slows slightly, lower inventory can still keep competition present in certain segments of the market. Another trend we saw in February was longer selling timelines. The average days on the market increased from 27 days last year to 36 days this year. What that tells us is that buyers are taking a little bit more time to make decisions. They're reviewing their options, comparing properties, they're waiting for the right opportunity. Now let's talk about pricing, because that's the number most people are paying attention to. The average price in the GTA in February was just over $1 million. Last year, that number was about $1,086,000. That represents 7.1% decrease year over year. Price movements like this can reflect several factors. Changes in the types of homes that are selling, the balance between detached homes and condos, and broader economic conditions like interest rates. What we're seeing right now is a market that's still active and where buyers are being deliberate. Many buyers are watching closely to see where pricing stabilizes before making a move. And that connects us to a much larger conversation about housing in Ontario. A recent report from the Ontario Real Estate Association looked at how people across the province are feeling about the housing today. The results were pretty striking. About 86% of Ontarians say that they're concerned about the housing conditions right now, and 61% say that buying a home has become more difficult over the past year. Those perceptions have a real impact on how people behave in the market. When buyers feel uncertain about affordability or market direction, they tend to slow down and evaluate their options more carefully. At the same time, the desire of home ownership is still strong. The research shows that more than 2/3 of non-home owners still want to own a home someday, but confidence was weakened. In fact, about 1 in 4 aspiring homeowners believe that they may never be able to purchase a home. So demand is still there, but buyers feel like the path to ownership has become more difficult. And that's the one reason why the spring market matters so much. Historically in the GTA, the spring market begins to build in March, and it peaks through April and May and remains active until early summer. Several factors contribute to that pattern: warm weather, school schedules, and the simple fact that many homeowners prefer listing when the conditions are easier for moving. Because of this, spring tends to bring more listings and more buyers at the same time. When those two things increase together, we usually see a higher transaction volume. In many years, a significant portion of all GTA homes happen between March and June. And that's why the transition period between winter and spring is so important. Momentum can build quickly. Now, this year's spring market starts from an interesting position. We're entering into a season with fewer listings than last year. If that trend continues, competition could increase once more buyers enter into the market. Another factor influencing the market is the household finances. The OREA research found that 53% of Ontarians say that they can cover their monthly expenses, but cannot save money. Housing costs are playing a major role in that. About 2/3 of Ontarians say that rent or mortgage payments have a major impact on their financing. So affordability remains a central issue. The research also found that the high home prices are viewed as the biggest barrier to buying a home. Beyond prices, many Ontarians also point to factors like property taxes, government fees, and development costs. All of those pressures shape how buyers approach the market. They influence budgets, timelines, and expectations. And that's why the next few months will be so important. Right now, we have several forces that are interacting with the market. Sales are slightly lower year over year, listings have declined, prices have adjusted slightly, and buyers are taking time to make decisions. At the same time, spring historically brings a surge of activity. If listings increase significantly, buyers may see more choices and more negotiation. If inventory remains tight while demand increases, competition could return quickly in certain segments of the market. For sellers, the spring market often brings the largest pool of buyers. For buyers, it brings more listings and more opportunities. Understanding seasonal patterns can make a big difference when it comes to strategy. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing this year, timing and preparation really matter. And if you want to talk about what the current market means for you, contact me today, and we'll be happy to walk you through it all.